So, because my key fob broke, I need to design another one. The issue with the key fob, this one, is that one, it's made of PLA. PLA is not the strongest material, so it was bound to break, but I assumed it was going to break over a course of maybe, a couple years, But since I've been putting it in the ignition and turning it and turning it and turning it repeatedly, it placed stresses on the plastic that it's printed on and snapped. So, to remedy that, I need to either make a tighter connection for the key and make sure that the connection can withstand the torques of me twisting repeatedly. So the first thing is choosing a material. The material I'm going to choose to use is CF PET G, which is carbon fiber PET G, which is stronger than PLA. Then we go to the design phase. So first, I started with trying to replicate the key as basic as I can, because the only important part of the key that I'm caring about is the width or diameter and this hole here. Everything after I don't really care about. So this is the key, and I tried to replicate it as closely as possible, right? The next step is, what am I gonna put the key into? And I was thinking of just chopping an old screwdriver, flathead, and then just shoving it in there. But it would be way cooler to design and print my own. So very bare bones, look for a screwdriver, right? Designed it, whatever the case may be. And now the key would slot in here. The screw that would hold it together slots in right there. And then the nut that screws in, the nut that gets screwed into, there we go, is down here. So let's go back to the isometric view, and there we go. And to increase the force that's going to be applied while the key is in there to make sure it stays secure, I designed a little clamp for it as well. So it's very simple. The screwdriver main part will whoop in there, and then there's two bolts that'll go there with two screws up here, or bolts, yeah, either or. And then on the bottom it would be two nuts, and this gap here, while I'm tightening the screws down, it will make a clamping force onto what I already screwed into the main screwdriver. So after some material identification and some color modification, now I can show you guys the animation on how it's put together. You probably can already guess how it's placed together, but seeing it on SolidWorks is pretty cool too. And there you have it. This is the end result of the design. So it's 3D printed. I didn't get footage of it printing, but this is all 3D printed. This is actually the second iteration. The first one was all black. I'll try and post pics of that. So the reason I changed it was because the key was entirely too long on the keychain, and it was just very obnoxious to carry around. So I had to make it shorter. But this is, I believe, 25% infill. It's the clamp. These are all M3 screws and M3 nuts. I would take it apart, but you can kind of see the lock nut down here and the screws up top. But this is the end result of my design. And just in case I got to shank somebody, survive.